Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing the first of a series of first impressions that will be coming. I have a lot of new palettes that have come into my life recently and I'm excited to play with them. This is very exciting because you already know what it is. I always choke on my own spit because I get too excited, but it's the Likely Makeup Ugly palette. Is this crooked? I can't even begin to describe to you how excited I was when I saw that Likely Makeup was releasing an eyeshadow palette. I love both of their blush palettes that they have so much. I love Jordy. I've been watching her for so long, and I've always been anticipating a potential release of an eyeshadow palette, and when I saw this I was like, absolutely. I bought it as soon as it launched. It actually shipped quite quickly, and I don't know what I was expecting. This color story kind of surprised me a little bit, but it also makes sense. So this is the front. Very, I feel like, on brand for Likely Makeup, and then this is the inside. It actually is basically a rainbow palette. I'm not gonna lie, like, it has like Roy G. Biv, truly, but I feel like maybe it's the background that's making me feel like it's not a rainbow palette. Like, the tones aren't like super true. Like, they're a little bit different. So I feel like maybe it's not a true rainbow palette, but we'll see, I guess, when I get it on my eyes. So I'm going to start off, as I always do, with some swatches. There's only 12 shades in here, so I feel like I should have more than enough room on my arm. And let's just get into swatching. First, though, I want to say I think that this inside packaging is so cute with the little, like, looks like little stickers. It's just printed on the packaging, but I think like the little labels and stuff is also cute. Like, I like this palette a lot. So it's a mostly matte palette. There's 4 shimmers at the bottom. So let's just start off here, shall we? So the first shade is the shade Sour. This is just like a matte lime green. Then we have the shade Amanita, which is a red. And then there's the shade Construction, which I love the name of that. It's like a true, like, construction pylon orange. And then we have Abstract, which is a really beautiful purple. It's like really bright. Then we have the shade Bellyache, which is like a Pepto-Bismol pink. The shade Ugliest, which is probably my favorite shade in the palette. It's a beautiful, like, really dirty green. Then we have the shade Painterly, which is a bright blue. The shade Lucid, which is a yellow. This is like a very just like true traditional yellow, I feel. And then we have the first of these shimmers. So this is the shade Seraphic, which is a light baby pink metallic. These don't seem very like sparkly or anything like that. They're just like metallic shades. Then we have the shade Meldrop, which is like a lime green, like a bright green shimmer. The shade Tired, which is a blue shimmer, like a light blue shimmer. And then last shade we have the shade Luxe, which is a bright green metallic, lighter than the shade Meldrop, like maybe a tone lighter, and has like almost a silver shine to it. So this is the palette as a whole. Definitely, like, if you cover these shimmers up, the mattes are like rainbowy, and then we have these shimmers that make it maybe a little bit more different. I hate my hair today. but I can't. Like, this is the best that I can get it to look, so I don't know. We're just gonna have to roll with it. Like, what is this? I think I started curling it too high. Oh boy. All right. So let's just zoom in and do an eye look together, shall we? Let me get into the zone. Let me wake up a little bit. I don't know why I'm so tired. I don't do anything. I'm unemployed still. Okay. So I feel like my instinct, I might just follow that. My gut is to just go right into the greens. So I think I'm just going to do that, right? It's just a first impression, trying out the formula. It feels like it swatches really pigmented and smooth. Just the way it feels. Feels like it's a matte formula that I would like, but I mean, time will tell, or we'll just have to see. So yeah, I'm just gonna go with my gut today. I'm going to start with the shade Lucid, which is this yellow here. I've primed my eyes using the NARS Smudge Proof eyeshadow base, and I have not set my lids. So let's just go into this, go with this, go into the crease with this, put this in the crease as my initial blending shade. I mean, this eye blended really beautifully. It doesn't feel super kick-uppy in the pan. It's like a pretty much like a regular amount. And it's blending well, it's building well. I mean, it's just one matte in the crease, but so far so good. Okay, so now I'm going to go into the shade Sour. And I'm going to run this through my crease. I guess it is pretty bright, actually. Whatever. I guess we're going for a brighter eye today. Considering how bright of a green this is, it's building and blending very well. Like, it's not getting patchy, it's not dry. Like, it's really, really nice. I really love this. It's such a fun color. I don't use this in my crease a lot, like this bright of a green, so it's different for me. And now I'm so excited. I'm going to take the shade Ugliest. This shade is like the most exciting shade in the palette to me. I can confidently say I don't have any shade that's like this. It's like the most beautiful, like just murky brownish green. I love that it's in here. And I'm just going to use this to deepen my crease. We'll see how these shades layer and build. Look at this eye. Oh my god. I love the way the Sour and Ugliest shade pair together. I mean, I think that looks pretty good considering I did have to layer the Sour shade like a couple of times to get it to be the intensity that I want. So I feel like this shade built on top of this pretty well. I'm just going to take the brush that I used Sour on and just blend this darker green out. Now I'm just taking a little bit more of Sour and blending it over the edges just to bring back a little bit of that like super like vibrant green. I'm obsessed with this combination. Okay, so I'm just going to hop off camera and do a half cut crease and then I will be back. Okay, so I've cut my crease. I'm just quickly going to run over the edge of this a little bit more with the shade Sour and then tap this onto my lid. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the shade Ugliest and deepen my outer corner one more time. Not perfect, but it'll do for now. So for my lid, I'm going to do one eye at a time. I'm going to use the NYX Glitter Primer. I'm going to just squirt a little bit of this onto my brush and then just put this everywhere that I've put the concealer. And then I'm going to take the shade Meldrop. I'll show you these shades in a second. Put this on the inner, or no, the middle of my lid. That's super bright and super beautiful. Again, not like, doesn't seem overly sparkly or anything, but it's a really beautiful bright metallic. And then I'm just going to wipe my brush off and now take the shade Luxe, which was that lighter green. So you can see that they're definitely, this almost is more minty, whereas the shade Meldrop is more of like a lime. Okay, so just for reference, I used the shade Meldrop here in the middle of my eye and then the shade Luxe on the inner part. Okay, so I'm just going to take a little bit more Sour and just use this to blend into the shade Meldrop. And you know what, these two shimmers, I'm just going to take these now and just on my fingers and use them to intensify them on my lid. But these tones remind me a lot of the two greens that are in the Kaleidos Escape Pod palette. Honestly, as we have this, they're not exactly the same and they're not the same in formula, but there's one green that's a little bit darker and one green that's a little bit more limey. Same idea, and honestly those blended together pretty easily, so I'm not gonna make a huge fuss about blending those into each other. Okay, so for my lower lash line, I'm gonna keep it all green. I'm gonna keep it all green. I guess I could do blue, but I kind of just want to keep it all the same. I'm gonna be boring, and I'm going to take Sour all underneath my lower lash line. And then I'm gonna take Ugliest and deepen my lash line up with this. And then I'm gonna go back into the shade Lucid, which was the yellow. First, I'm gonna run this over the edge of my shadow on my eyelid. And then I'm also going to use this to blend out my lower lash line. And then for my inner corners, I'm gonna take the shade Luxe, which is this lighter green on the inner part of my lid. I'm just gonna spray this. And then I'm gonna put this here. So it works well if you spray it as well. Okay, so I think that is all that I'm going to do. I really like the way that this ended up coming out. I love the bright green. I don't do green, isn't my go-to color, so it's always kind of fun and different when I do green. Before I go though, I'm going to take a black, just a matte black. This is just a single black from Pat McGrath. And I'm just going to use this just to darken up my outer corner, just the very outer corners, just because I always do this. So I just like to give a little bit of extra depth. Okay, so this is all I'm gonna do. I'm going to hop off camera, finish up my face because I wasn't sure what I was gonna do, so I don't have like highlighter or blush or anything on. I'm gonna put liner on, do my lashes, my lips, and then be back to give you my initial thoughts on this palette. Okay, and so this is the finished look with my face all finished up and everything. On my lips, I have the NYX lip liner in Espresso. I blended that in with the NYX lip liner, the Suede Matte lip liner in Sandstorm, and then I have the ColourPop creme lipstick in Butter on my lips. And if you're curious about anything else that's on my face, it will be in the description box. So, my thoughts on this palette. I mean, performance-wise, I obviously only use the shade Sour, Lucid, Ugliest, Meldrop, and Luxe, but like my experience with the mattes and the shimmers, overall, very nice. I mean, you saw it for your own selves. The mattes blended, built beautifully, no complaints with these shades that I used. The shimmers are, like I said before, nice shimmers. They're nice metallic shades, but they're pretty like standard metallics. They're not sparkly, they're not like textured or anything. They're just like metallic shades that are nice. And I love the packaging. I love the size. It's very compact. I love the back. It feels like very on brand for Likely Makeup. I'm not gonna bullshit you guys. At the end of the day, this is a rainbow palette, right? Like, maybe with the exception of the shade Ugliest, I'm pretty confident that I could find dupes for almost every single shade in this palette in my collection. It's not, like, I like the tones that were chosen for this palette. I think it's really pretty, and I'm excited to use it more. I'll definitely be doing a 3 looks 1 palette with this palette, but it's not the most revolutionary color story, and it's not, yeah, like it's a rainbow palette. It performs well. Like, so far, I'm really happy with how it performs. If you just want to like collect Likely makeup, or try their formula, or you really like the packaging, or etc., like if you really were inclined to buy this palette, maybe you don't have like any rainbow palettes, I think this functions well as a standalone palette, whereas sometimes with rainbow palettes I don't always feel that way, but because of the tones that were chosen, like I don't know that I would feel the need very often to dip into another palette. But I'm not gonna sit here and be like, this is the most revolutionary special palette that I've ever used. I like it. It's not super expensive. I believe it was around $36 USD. I'll put the actual price on the screen here. I think what I paid was a fair price for this, but like I don't want to give off the impression that I don't enjoy it and that I'm not happy to have it and all that stuff, but I'm not gonna, like I said, sit here and be like, oh my god, this is like so amazing and like incredible and unique and stuff like that. But I'm so happy to have a Likely Makeup eyeshadow palette finally. I think it performed really, really well. I really like the shade Ugliest. I think it's so special. And I'm excited to do a 3 looks 1 palette, which will probably be coming soon. Will be coming soonish. As soon as I can do it, I'll have it up. Let me know if you guys are interested in this palette. If you are interested in buying it, maybe you already have bought it. If you think it's not exciting, please let me know. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!